Michael, and this is California. And Social Security retirement is one of the largest ways that seniors in America receive retirement benefits. And it's basically a savings plan that provides monthly benefits to seniors for once they retire. But there are many pathways to receiving Social Security. And in most cases, a person will have to have paid into the Social Security retirement system while they were working. But this is not always the case, especially in the case where a household has one person who is working while another person is not. And this is why, through Social Security, it's possible for the non-working spouse to qualify for the Social Security benefits of the working spouse, even if they never worked. Now, being able to receive these benefits as a spouse is an important part of the Social Security program and can mean the difference of tens of thousands of dollars over a lifetime and the ability to age with dignity. So today we're going to discuss what are some of the ways that Social Security works for spouses, how someone can access benefits based on their spouse's eligibility, and what are some strategies to work together to increase your overall Social Security benefits. Now, before we do that, if you like this information, if you find it interesting, if you find it helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. So let's first talk about Social Security benefits in general. The first Social Security benefit was paid in 1940 for a whopping $23. And now, 9 out of 10 people who are 65 years or older in the U.S. receive some sort of Social Security benefit. Social Security is funded by a tax that we and our employers pay into every month while we are working. And that means that the more money we make, the more money we're taxed, and ultimately, the more money we pay into the Social Security system. As we pay into this program, we pay into it so that we can get benefits once we retire at our full retirement age, which can really vary based on the age that you were born. The money that we pay goes into a trust fund that holds onto the money. And once someone retires, then they're able to draw out retirement benefits from that pool. The amount that someone is able to get is really based on how much money they paid in or is taxed. So the more money you pay in, the more money you're taxed, and the more money you're able to get once you retire. People born in 1967 or later can receive Social Security benefits as early as 62 years old, or they can wait until their full retirement age at 67 years old, or they can even wait till longer, till 70 years old, and get the maximum Social Security benefit. And these benefits are eligible not just for the person who worked all those years, but may also be eligible for the spouse or even the ex-spouse of the working person who had paid into Social Security. There are quite a few ways that spouses are able to access Social Security benefits of their working partner, even if they themselves never paid into the Social Security system. So the first way we're going to talk about is if one of the spouses dies. And in this case, the widowed spouse is able to claim something called Social Security Survivor's Benefits. And these benefits can be claimed as early as 62 years old and are based on the eligibility from the working years of the now deceased partner. And if the spouse is disabled, they can actually receive them as early as 50 years old. The surviving spouse can claim these benefits before they reach their full retirement age at 67, but doing this will reduce the overall Social Security benefit they may be able to receive. If both spouses are eligible for Social Security checks, then the survivor benefit will become the check that is the larger of the two checks, and the lower benefit payment will actually stop. It is not possible to receive both checks for yourself as well as the check for your deceased spouse at the same time. If only one person is receiving Social Security benefits, then the widowed spouse, if they're eligible for lower Social Security checks on their own and have not yet started claiming the Social Security benefits for themselves, could opt to begin taking the Social Security benefits for the deceased partner and allow their own personal Social Security benefits to grow until age 70. In this situation, by postponing their own Social Security benefits, this allows their personal Social Security benefits to continue to grow to its maximum amount. Their Social Security check can grow to be 132% of what it would have been had they taken it earlier at the full retirement age. Another very common situation is if one spouse never paid into the Social Security system but worked, often much longer hours in the home and taking care of the children, while the other spouse worked outside the house and was receiving a paycheck and paid into the Social Security system. In this situation, it is possible for the non-working spouse to become eligible for benefits based on the working spouse's years paid in, as long as they've been married for at least 10 years or more. Now, once the spouse who works reach their full retirement age, generally at 67 years old, the spouse who did not work would be able to claim up to 50% of the working spouse benefit if they wait until they reach their own full retirement age. If either spouses takes their Social Security benefit early though, which is 62, the benefits may be reduced dramatically over their full lifetime. And in fact, every year they take their benefits earlier, it means they're going to have a reduction in their Social Security benefit. So how much can a non-working spouse receive based on the working spouse Social Security benefit? Well, it really depends on when the non-working spouse starts to claim their Social Security benefits. So for example, if the spouse who did not work takes their Social Security benefits based on their working spouse's eligibility at the earliest date, which is at 62 years old, then they would be eligible for only 35% of the benefit that is paid to the working spouse. But if they wait till the full retirement age at 67, then they would be eligible for up to 50% of the working spouse's benefit. So it really makes a big difference. Also, as a side note, both spouses would be eligible for health insurance through Medicare at the Medicare eligibility age at 65, based on the quarters worked only by the working spouse. For widows or widowers, the amount are a bit different and will depend on their situation. Now, for example, if both spouses are receiving Social Security and then one of the spouses dies, then the surviving spouse will be able to receive the full benefit. The earliest that a surviving spouse can claim Social Security benefits is at 60 years old. But if they take it at 60 years old, the surviving spouse will only receive 70% of the benefit. But if they wait till their full retirement age at 67 years old, then they can get the full retirement benefit. But just keep in mind, it is not possible to receive both spouses' benefit after one has deceased. But you will be able to get whichever benefit is higher. And this can really be a pretty deep cut to someone's household income and may make them eligible for some other programs that can help them pay for their Medicare costs or even the cost of their daily living. Overall, we have just really scratched the surface of how Social Security works for spouses. It is a complicated and somewhat arcane system, but it's designed to ensure that seniors in America are not left without any help to age with dignity. Also, if you are a surviving spouse who is experiencing a significant income decrease, then I would encourage you to look at some of the valuable programs that help people pay for their healthcare costs through Medicare, food costs through SNAP, or even energy costs through their local energy company. These programs can really assist someone who is struggling to keep their head above water. Thank you so much for watching our video, and I hope that you found it interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. Also, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. We love to see your comments and questions, and we'll be happy to make a new video or a new post as soon as we can. Now, finally, we here at California, we know health insurance. So whether it is private health insurance or Covered California or Medicare or Medicaid or Medi-Cal or even health insurance for a small group, we know health insurance. Because I know it can be very complicated coming out of your work insurance and having to go on private health insurance, or maybe coming out of Medicare or becoming eligible for Medicare and trying to figure out what is the best plan for you that fits your needs as well as your budget. Or maybe even you're coming out of Medicaid or Medi-Cal and now you have to get health insurance on the private side. We can help you with all those different options. So if you have a question about your healthcare, leave it down below. We'll make a new video or post for that as well. Now, other than that, I'm Michael, and this is California, wishing you a happy, healthy day.